So, a very good morning, all of you. A very good morning, Dori. A very good morning, Vanshika. And thanks a lot, Vanshika, for that, son. A very good morning to all of you. चला गया क्या फिर से? Yes, ठीक है. Okay, let us start then. Start करते हैं अपना सेशन. आ रहा है ना ये कोई वीडियो? Let me check. ठीक है. Let us start. Let us start today's session. Okay, so sharp at 10 we are usually starting. So very first of the article, or I should be waiting for 1 or 2 more minutes. A very good morning, Satya. Very good morning. आज का पेपर काफी अच्छा है. Let us have a look at it. जल्दी से ज्वाइन कर लो तुम लोग. The festival season आ रहा है क्या? 7th of August. परसों क्या है आपका? रक्षाबंधन. Okay. जब मैं छोटा था तो मैं सोचता था क्या कि सारे फेस्टिवल्स में क्या होता है, यूजुअली ओनली गर्ल्स यूज टू गेट मनी, है ना. तो आई वाज वेरी जेलस कि काश मैं लड़की होता. तो दैट वाज इमेच्योरिटी कि रक्षाबंधन हो, है ना, भाई दूज हो या कोई और फेस्टिवल हो, यूजुअली क्या लड़कियों को ही पैसे मिलते हैं. तो हमेशा से एक जेलसी रहती थी, मेरी बहनों को पैसे मिलते हैं, मुझे नहीं मिलते, है ना. सो ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम एक बार ऐसे मैंने अपनी जेलसी अपनी मैम के साथ शेयर की कि मैम हमेशा क्या लड़कियों को ही पैसे क्यों मिलते हैं, लड़कों को पैसे क्यों नहीं मिलते. तो उन्होंने बोला कि अरे बुद्धू ये तो समझा करो कि जितने भी फेस्टिवल्स होते हैं उसमें क्या लड़कों के लिए होते हैं, मतलब दे आर मेजरली क्या यू आर बीइंग सॉर्ट ऑफ वर्शिप. तो हाँ, क्लास के जितने भी लड़के थे ना थोड़ा से क्या कूल डाउन हुए. बट छोटे में तो यही रहता है ना कि हम लोग अच्छा जितने भी आप फेस्टिवल्स देखेंगे इंडिया में देयर इज ऑलवेज अ पैट्रियार्कल टच टू इट, है ना. आज तक मैंने कोई भी फेस्टिवल ऐसा नहीं देखा या कोई भी फास्टिंग ऐसी नहीं देखी जिसमें क्या लड़का किसी लड़की के लिए कर रहा हो, है ना. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम yes there has been a trend, lot of boys have started to keep fast for their wives on Karwa Chauth and whatnot. But usually in our Indian culture it is very much patriarchal. All the kind of festivals, all the kind of fasting, all the kind of rituals are majorly are favored in the favor of males, है ना. चलो कोई बात नहीं, जैसा भी होता है वो होता रहेगा. सो अ वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग याशिका. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं. डोरी, वंशिका, सत्या एंड याशिका डन. स्टार्ट करते हैं अपना 7th of August का एनालिसिस. डन. ओके. So very first of the article that we'll be observing here is, अच्छा पहले देखना है यहाँ पर एक important article है regarding Supreme Court sets aside Madras High Court order limiting state schemes name. Able to understand? Now see, if I'm talking about ये पूरा का पूरा क्या इशू क्या है कि मद्रास हाई कोर्ट had stayed an order in which in public schemes they were in, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu, they were using the name of Stalin, that is Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Able to understand? So over the period of time there has been a debate that has majorly started, in which we are majorly discussing that whether the state schemes, the schemes that are majorly being funded by consolidated fund of state or the public exchequer, whether those of the schemes can be named in the name of an individual person. ठीक है. जैसे if I'm talking about in Delhi as well, in India as well, there are a lot of schemes that are named after few of the most prominent of the persons, है ना. So that was majorly case. So whether अच्छा इसमें अगर मैं dilemma की बात करूं, और if I'm talking about the governance perspective, why this entire kind of article is important, it is majorly asking you कि यार ये जो public interest है, this public interest if I'm talking about, ठीक है, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट वर्सेस प्राइवेट इंटरेस्ट, पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट वर्सेस प्राइवेट इंटरेस्ट, ठीक है. हो सकता है दिस कुड बी वेरी मच पॉसिबल कि ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इफ states are being limited or are being restricted, that you will not be using the name of if I'm saying of your political head, ठीक है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल if I'm talking about the case of Tamil Nadu, for example if Madras High Court says कि Tamil Nadu Chief Minister will not be permitted in order to use his name, in all those kind of government schemes. So what could probably have happened? Probably हो सकता है आज के बाद, if there would have been another chief minister, or if even if I'm taking the case of Stalin, हो सकता है आज के बाद वो कोई स्कीम ही ना निकालते, he would not have क्या launched any of the scheme, considering the interest कि there is no such private interest is involved. Probably people will not be knowing it कि हम लोग क्या ये चीज कर पाएंगे या नहीं कर पाएंगे, हमारे नाम से हो रही है नहीं हो रही है ना. जैसे recently there was a controversy that was going on, that is Rahul Gandhi distributed the sanitary napkins in schools, और उसमें क्या he printed his own image, and that was also a big controversy, that why you always need this entire kind of personification of a political figure on these government schemes. So public figures are actually today's MS Swaminathan birthday as well. अच्छा है क्या डोरी? I have to see. अच्छा MS Swaminathan और रिपोर्ट वाले I have to see. मैंने अभी देखा नहीं था, but thanks for sharing that out. So if I'm talking about this private interest as well, probably these political leaders are always talking about that we should be having certain kind of private interest as well if we are launching a scheme, if we are doing all the kind of efforts. Plus, at the same time, if you are discarding this private interest to the politician, then probably the public interest could be at stake. So these two of the things we also have to keep in mind. तो ये एक बड़ा अच्छा टॉपिक बनता है किसमें आपका गवर्नेंस में, that is public interest and private interest, and probably why the Supreme Court has set aside this entire kind of judgment in which he is majorly saying that I will not be that you can use the name of you can use the name of your chief minister. So probably they are trying to have a good balance between the private interest as well as the public interest. Okay, so these two of the things we will be keeping in mind, that is by allowing any of the state government in order to use the name, the photo of any of the particular figure, the judiciary over the period of time they are actually trying to balance between the private interest as well as the public interest. So these two of the things you will be keeping in mind. Now see, acha. If I'm talking about, see the next of the article, this article is regarding what? Trump raises US tariffs on Indian imports to 50%. Trump raises US tariffs on Indian imports to 50%. Okay. So this after this all this kind of circus we have seen, that is Trump has majorly promised that if 90 days notice that he has majorly given, okay, that if in 90 days I am not able to achieve any kind of agreement with India, so probably hoga kya, over the period of time I will be imposing a tariff on you. Okay, so this has majorly been the case, and earlier he has promised that I will only be imposing 25% of the tariff, and that was still lower than it was being imposed on China. Because there was a picture that was out there जो मैंने आपको बोला था, you please append it. उसमें on one side they had majorly talked about that is tariff percentage, है ना? On the right side they were majorly talking about what? The trade deficit. Able to understand? So at that time I told you that the maximum percentage of the tariff was imposed on Canada, but the maximum proportion of the trade deficit that was with China. So those were not two of the same of the thing. The maximum trade deficit which USA is having was with China, that was around $300 billion or dollars something. Okay. But when I'm talking about the percentage of the tariff that was majorly being imposed, that was imposed on Canada. Okay. So these two of the things you will be understanding. Now see. So Trump has said that is if I will not be coming to any kind of free trade agreement in 90 days, I will be imposing 25% of the tariff. Now recently he said that I will be imposing penalty as well. And when I'm talking about the penalty, what he has majorly said, 25% tariff and 25% penalty. So the entire kind of thing is coming out to be what? Approx 50%. Approx 50%. Acha. One more thing that you have to remember in this entire kind of data, acha, here they are not mentioning that thing, but there is a concept of ad valorem tax. ये ad valorem tax वाला जो concept है ना, ये अपना you can impose in what? You can append in your PT pointer notebook. Okay. So when I'm talking about ad valorem tax, what is this ad valorem tax? Always remember, acha, when I'm talking about this entire kind of these definitions that are out there now, what you have to do, you have to maintain one glossary. अच्छा, what is in glossary, sir? Glossary क्या होती है? तो glossary में हम क्या करते हैं? Whatever specific terms that you are encountering, especially for what? Especially for economics. Able to understand? Whatever special terms you are encountering, you have to name them at one place, and you have to justify, or you have to give a brief about in one or two of the sentences, and that is what you have to do. Now when I'm talking about this entire kind of what is ad valorem tax, always remember ki ad valorem tax kya hota hai. In ad valorem tax, it is any kind of tax that is majorly being imposed on the basis or on the proportion or the kind of the asset. I should be saying ad valorem tax is a kind of the tax that is majorly being imposed on the kind of the asset. On the kind of the asset. What kind of asset you are majorly taxing, and on the basis of that kind of asset I will be imposing what? A certain kind of percentage of the tariff, a certain kind of percentage of tax. Now for example, the best example of ad valorem tax is the taxation on properties. Taxation on properties. Taxation on properties, maybe if I'm talking about the stamp duty that you are talking about, na stamp duty. ठीक है, जब भी मैं स्टैंप ड्यूटी की बात करूंगा, whenever I'm talking about the stamp duty, तो stamp duty is also a kind of what? It is a kind of ad valorem tax. So what is an ad valorem tax? Whenever I am taxing my any kind of asset based upon its category, that what is particular kind of category to which that asset belong, उसको मैं क्या बोलूंगा? What I am trying to say, I'm calling that kind of tax as ad valorem tax. ठीक है, so this entire kind of thing you will be impending in your glossary. Number first of the thing. अच्छा, दूसरा चीज what I am trying to tell you, number second of the cheese is that is 25% tax plus 25% penalty. That is you have to remember. Number third of the thing that you have to remember, actually this entire kind of data is not available in this entire kind of article, but you have to remember कि right now India and USA का trade, if I am analyzing, so if I am analyzing India and USA का trade, so India right now is having a trade surplus. India is right now having a trade surplus, and how much is this trade surplus? This entire kind of trade surplus is around $84 billion. Too much buffering. Acha, just wait a second. Dori, just wait a second. Acha, tell me, Vanshika, Satya, Yashika, whether you are also facing the same problem. Because from my end it is totally okay. Probably हो सकता है Dori, you might be having some problem with your internet. Vanshika, Satya, Yashika, you please tell me out. Or should I be asking someone else? Because according to me it is okay. My video is relatively fine. Any buffering that you are encountering? कोई buffering हो रहा है यहाँ पर? Dori, it is still there? अभी भी हो रहा है buffering? Please tell me out. यार comment तो करो तुम लोग. No sir. Okay. ठीक है. Dori, just try to check your internet connection. ठीक है. Probably that could be a case, because from my end as of now, as I can see, it is sound connection. No sir, everything is fine. Okay Yashika, okay Vanshika. ठीक है. Dori, just please have a look at your internet connection. है ना? ठीक है. So मैंने क्या बताया? What are the things that you have to remember from this entire kind of article? I told you from the yesterday's point of view. There was a picture that you have seen in yesterday's newspaper, in which there was one column in which they were saying that is percentage of the tariff, and on the other column they were saying that is the trade deficit. Able to understand? Okay. So number first of the point, that is USA has imposed maximum of the tariff on Canada. On Canada. Achha, and at that time it was 35% of the tariff. Okay. In yesterday's newspaper, which we have seen, it was around 35% of the tariff. That was the maximum tariff that is majorly being imposed on any of the country, that was Canada. But when I am talking about the trade deficit with any kind of country, when I'm talking about the value of the trade deficit, it was with China. So Canada is having the maximum tariff and China was having the maximum trade surplus with respect to USA, and that was around 300 billion odd dollars. Able to understand? Now see, after this entire kind of news, that probably India is jumping to the first spot, that is around 50% of the tariff is majorly being imposed on India, and through this entire kind of 25% tax plus 25% penalty, they are jumping over whom? Canada. So Canada we have seen that is around 35% of tariff that we have seen in yesterday's newspaper, but now today we are having around 50% of the tariff. ठीक है, so this thing you will be remembering. Then I told you कि right now India and USA, if I'm analyzing the trade, that trade is almost the trade surplus that India is enjoying is around $84 billion. This is also you have to remember. And then I have told you the concept of ad valorem tax. Able to understand? ठीक है. So coming to the next of the article, आज मैं आपसे एक क्वेश्चन भी पूछूंगा at the end. एक जो हमेशा आपसे प्रीलिम्स का क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. I have got one news, very good news in today's newspaper that I will be asking a question about. Done. Come to the next of the article. अगले आर्टिकल में देखो फटाफट से. अच्छा, अगले आर्टिकल में आना, दैट इज पेट्रोल लॉबीज के ऊपर. देयर इज अ वेरी गुड आर्टिकल. नाउ सी, इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस एंटायर काइंड ऑफ थिंग, यहां पर देखना, if I'm talking about this entire kind of thing, they have mentioned about one kind of fuel, and this fuel is, they are calling it as E20 fuel. This fuel that they are calling it as E20 fuel. Acha, what is this E20? You please try to understand. E here we are referring to what? Ethanol. E here we are referring to ethanol, and 20 is the percentage, and 20 is the percentage. So if I am talking about E20 fuel, so that means the ethanol percentage will be 20%. Now see, when I'm talking about that is ethanol percentage will be 20%. Acha, now what is majorly happening now? Ki right now India is trying to shift away from the normal or the conventional oil that we have been taking from the West Asian countries. Okay? So normal crude oil that, or the normal petrol and diesel that we have been taking from these West Asian countries and utilizing them for our vehicular requirements, that is majorly trying to shift away. Why? There has been a reason for this. Number first, that this entire kind of crude oil, this entire kind of crude oil costs India a lot of forex reserves. Okay? Lot of forex we are majorly using just because of what? Crude oil. Okay? Number second of the thing, it will help India in order to encounter its current account deficit and ultimately lead to what? Trade surplus. Okay? If we are reducing our dependence on crude oil, so probably over the period of time, what will be happening? That is our current account deficit. Our current account deficit will improve, and over the period of time, we can also target for what? For trade surplus. Number second of the point that I have told you. Now see, if I'm talking about number third of the point, why India is trying to shift away from the crude oil, it is becoming the reason for a lot of geopolitical tension that is right now going on. For example, if I'm trying to analyze India-USA relation, India-Russia relation, everyone is majorly fighting for what? For oil. USA is saying why you are taking Russian oil and using it again. So this entire kind of oil diplomacy which is majorly going on in the country, the oil diplomacy that is majorly going on in the country, this we have to reduce. Okay? Number third of the point. Number fourth of the point, if I'm talking about right now, India is focusing on what? That is electrical vehicles. Electrical vehicles. For example, Nitin Gadkari has also said that is by 2035, by 2035 we are majorly planning that is every vehicle that is running on road, that is operating on road, it should be shifted to what? It should be shifted to what? If I'm saying your electrical vehicle, है ना? So these entire kind of points that you have to remember, that why India is trying to shift away from the crude oil. Number first, to reduce its cost, that is forex reserves that we are basically using. Number second is current account deficit. Number third is oil diplomacy. Number fourth is what? That is electrical vehicle. Now see, when I am saying that over the period of time we have to shift away from conventional oil to alternative fuel, one kind of option is what? One kind of option could be electrical vehicles, while the second option could be what? Could be your biofuels as well. Could be biofuels as well. What are these biofuels? Whenever I'm talking about biofuels are, अच्छा देखो, there is a category of biofuels that is out there. ठीक है? Category 1, category 2, category 3 and category 4. Category 1 biofuels are, they are majorly prepared by what? Food products. Food product, for example, wheat and all those kind of products. You know? We are using the food products in order to generate what? In order to generate the first category of biofuel. Able to understand? When I'm talking about the second category of the biofuel, here we are using non-food products. Biggest of the drawback that was out there for the first category of the food, the first category of the biofuel, it was majorly that over the period of time, it might put pressure on Indian agriculture that we are struggling in order to meet what? In order to meet the daily demands of the people. And at the same time, you will be requiring these entire kind of food products in order to generate what? Biofuels. And that is why this is just not acceptable. That is category 1 biofuel is not acceptable. And rather we have to shift to where? That is category 2 biofuel. And when I'm talking about category 2 biofuel, so that is majorly, it is acceptable to a certain extent, that is we are using non-food products. Okay? So first category biofuel we are rejecting because first category biofuel we are majorly using food product. Second category biofuel we are using non-food product. And when I'm talking about third category biofuel, here we are using algaes. We are using algae. So currently we are at this stage, that is third category of biofuel in which we are using algae. Able to understand? Now see, coming to the fourth category biofuel. Now what is majorly happening in the fourth category biofuel? What is majorly happening? That in fourth category biofuel, we are also targeting carbon sequestration. We are also targeting carbon sequestration. So भैया क्वेश्चन निकलता है कि what is carbon sequestration? Whenever I am talking about carbon sequestration means that is collection of carbon. So my aim will be that I will be collecting carbon, I will be producing biofuel, and at the same time I will be sequestering the carbon in order to store it, in order to reduce my carbon footprint. Able to understand? ठीक. So I had told you that is in order to see alternate of the crude oil, I can majorly have two options. Number first is electrical vehicles, number second is biofuels. Able to understand? Now the thing is, when we are talking about biofuels may transition, that is transition to 100% biofuel, it is just not possible. And as a result of that, what the government is doing, they are majorly trying to shift to a biofuel in a phase wise manner. So they are majorly saying in the very beginning, what we will be doing, we will be just mixing 20% of the biofuel and 80% of the conventional fuel, and over the period of time we will be increasing its proportion. That is actually the cause with which the transport minister, that is Nitin Gadkari, is right now proceeding. Able to understand? Now see, so here they are saying that is petrol lobbies. अच्छा, petrol lobbies कौन सी petrol lobbies हैं? Petrol lobbies are those of the lobbies they want because their business depend on what? On petroleum. So they are majorly saying that is E20 fuel is not a good fuel, and that is how Nitin Gadkari is majorly countering them. He is saying that is there is no such controversy with E20 biofuel. They are just wanted to create a criticism for the government. They are just trying to create some sort of what? Some sort of misinformation. And E20 biofuel, which we are considering right now, is the fuel of the future. So probably over the period of time, what we will be observing, that is from E20 biofuel, you can also have E40 biofuel or E60 biofuel. Able to understand? Okay. I hope this is clear to you. So just have a look at it. Let me have a sip of water first. So what will be your E20 biofuel? E20 biofuel will be 20% what? Ethanol and 80% gasoline. Okay, so let us proceed to the second of the article, the third of the article that we are out there. Third of the article, Dekhna, please have a look at it. In Delhi, Shinde says no strings and hits as his Maharashtra CM. Okay. Mm, Pushpa to Stampede. Acha, see this entire kind of thing. Uh, please have a look at it. This entire kind of image that you are observing now. Please have a look at it. Acha. So if I'm talking about this entire kind of picture, यहाँ पे देखो what is majorly being said, that is the अच्छा, what is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? Huh? Anyone can tell me in online or offline what is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? Can anyone? Main difference क्या है? What is the main difference with turtle water में है and tortoise? What is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? Okay, difference in sizes. And olive ridley turtle or olive ridley tortoise, are they both the same thing or they are a different thing? What is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? Anyone can tell me? Dori, Vanshika, Satya, Yashika, anyone? You want to try? What is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? What is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? I don't think that much. जल्दी से बताओ. Tell me soon. Hmm? Anyone online? ठीक है. Okay. Let me tell you what is it. अच्छा, tortoise and turtle are not the same thing. Tortoise and turtle are not the same thing. This entire kind of image that you are majorly observing here, it is a turtle. ठीक है. So the very first point that Prinsu said, Prinsu ने क्या कहा? Prinsu said कि sir, turtle. Whenever I am talking about turtle are always aquatic or they are semi. Turtles are always aquatic. Sir, there is a difference in their limbs. Acha, okay, Yashika is saying there is a difference between limbs. But why there is a difference between limbs? Yashika, that you are not able to tell. Exactly, there is a difference in their limbs. But why? Because turtle wants to swim. And limb means hath. Able to understand? Okay. Okay. So if I'm talking about turtle, turtle is always aquatic or semi-aquatic. And whenever I'm talking about tortoise is majorly on land based. Tortoise is majorly on land based reptile. Able to understand? So always remember turtle is what? Turtle is your aquatic or semi-aquatic, and tortoise is your land based reptile. And this is a basic difference, and that is why Ashika, you are saying there is a difference in their limbs. So limbs may why there is a difference? Because turtle wants to swim and tortoise didn't have to do it. Huh? No, this is not legal. हाँ ना शेड्यूल 1 वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट में दिस इज इलीगल. It is illegal. Don't do it. हाँ, don't do it. Never do it. अच्छा, let me tell you one thing. I also encountered one person. Turtle lives in water while tortoise lives on land. Exactly, Manshika. Done. So, हाँ सुन तो. Whenever I'm talking about क्या, yes, हाँ, I came in contact with one man. He said that if I am taking tortoise or if I am selling these tortoise or turtle, the profit is so much. The profit is so much. For example, I'm booking one Scorpio just to transfer them. Then entire cost of cars that Scorpio is getting recovered just if I'm transferring it from one city to another. Okay. Never keep tortoise or turtle in your home. It is illegal to keep it. Why? Because they are protected under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. Always able to understand? Okay. Acha. So this entire kind of picture that you are seeing, it is a turtle. So what is turtle? Turtle lives in water, and tortoise lives on land. Basic difference. Acha. What I'm actually trying to say over here, please try to understand. Here, if I'm talking about Jai Mahal Park, if I'm talking about Jai Mahal Park, so Jai Mahal Park, if I'm saying it is in Bangalore, Jai Mahal Park, it is in Bangalore, or you can also say Bengaluru. जैसे I still remember, lot of people were majorly struggling. Right now, the name of Gurgaon has changed. It has basically became Gurugram. You know? So when it became Gurugram, lot of people were majorly struggling in order to say word Gurugram, and till now people say Gurgaon. You know? But if you're talking about core Haryanvi people who are residing where in Gurgaon, they are very much particular about what? They are very much particular about using the name as Gurugram and not Gurgaon. Okay. Okay, done. Come to the next of the article. अगले article में आना. So Jai Mahal Park, where it is? It is in Bangalore. आगे देखो. अच्छा, sometimes the question could be out there. Question could be out there. On one side they will be giving you what national park, wildlife sanctuary. On the other side they might be giving you states. Okay. So you have to match that how many of these of the states or national parks are correctly matched, or they might be giving you to match the following format as well. So this thing you have to remember. Now come to the next of the article. अगले article में आना. अच्छा, decoding China. Now there's an article section that I have to discuss. Article section में आओ. Article section. Acha, this article I will not be discussing much. Why? Because I already had a discussion on it. Governments must monitor the silt accumulation at vulnerable point. What is a silt? Silt क्या होता है? What is silt? Online as well as offline. What is silt? What is silt? अच्छा, अच्छा बिल्कुल सही. And कुछ और? Something else? अच्छा देखो आई एम ए सिविल इंजीनियर है, तो सिविल इंजीनियर में सिल्ट का इंपॉर्टेंस बहुत ज्यादा है. अच्छा, देयर हैज बीन अ मेंशन ऑफ सिल्ट बाय प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी एज वेल रिसेंटली. There has been a recent parliamentary session that is right now going, that is monsoon session. In monsoon session, there was 16 hours debate that has majorly happened on what? On Operation Pahalgam. On Operation Pahalgam. And in this Operation Pahalgam, they were majorly discussing about what? They were majorly discussing about your Indus Water Treaty. Their Indus Water Treaty. Able to understand? When Prime Minister Modi was discussing about Indus Water Treaty, at that time he mentioned about silt. Acha dekho, what is silt? Silt is basically the part of the soil particle which is less than 2 micron. Which is less than 2 micron. So any particle that is less than 2 micron, I am calling it as silt. So sir, what is 1 micron? 1 micron is 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter. What is 1 micron? 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter. So all those particles who are having the size of about 2 micron, that is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter, they will be called as what? Silt. Able to understand? Now see, a silt is a narrow gap. ये वो slit होता है. सत्य, that is slit. I am talking about silt. SILT. Prashika, sir, what is Nisar? Nisar, I have told you, Prashika, cha, probably you were not there. Nisar is NASA, ISRO. What is Nisar? There is no article of Nisar as of now, but I will be discussing. What is Nisar? Nisar is NASA, ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. NASA, ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. It is majorly a क्या बोलते हैं? It is majorly a science or I should be saying a space mission that is majorly coordinated between the two of the organization, NASA and ISRO. The details are this entire kind of satellite which will be launched. It will be in low Earth orbit. It will be in low Earth orbit at a radius of around 400 to 600 kilometers from the Earth surface. And the other of the thing is, it will be an Earth observation satellite. It will be an Earth observation satellite. Plus, it will be having two radars. Number first is L radar. Number second is S radar. Number first is L radar. Number second is S radar. So there are two radars. L radar is from NASA and S radar is from ISRO. And next to the point, they are majorly traveling in low Earth orbit that I have told you. That's it. So Satya, that is slit. I am talking about silt. Okay. Slit is what? Slit is a narrow gap, and silt is the soil particle whose size is less than 2 micron. Done. Now see, if I'm talking about when there was the parliamentary session that was going on, and Prime Minister Modi mentioned about silt during the Indus Water Treaty. Why he actually mentioned about it? Because there is a provision. Always remember, whenever I'm talking about, whenever these particles that are out there, these are very small particles, and as a result of that, whenever, for example, I'm imagining this as my dam. ये क्या है? This is what your dam is all about. And for example, this triangle majorly denotes what? Water table. Done. So if this entire kind of dam is actually holding up a water for a longer period of time, what will be happening? It will be depositing the silt. At the bottom. Able to understand? Because these are finer particles, it gets deposited at the bottom of the dam. Able to understand? Now see. Over the period of time, this entire kind of silt amount will be increasing over the period of time. Okay? More the water will be coming, more the silt will be depositing, and as a result of that, the actual water level, it will be reducing over the period of time. Why? Because the amount of the silt is increasing. Able to understand? Now see, in order to, sir, how to cover backlogs from June to August of GK, how many hours will it take? I'll be talking about Prashika, I will be talking about that at the end of the session. I'll be giving you 5 minutes for it. Just let me complete it first. Done. So over the period of time, जैसे जैसे आपका क्या, this entire kind of silt will be increasing, the actual flow of the water in the dam, it will be reducing. क्यों? क्योंकि silt का content बढ़ रहा है. अच्छा, in order to increase the life of a dam, it is required that you clear this silt over the period of time. ठीक है, so that this silt should not become way too much, so that it reduce the actual water content in the dam. So it is required that you clear this silt over due course of time. First of the thing that you have to remember. Done. And at that time, Prime Minister Modi said कि under Indus Water Treaty, India is not allowed even to clear the silt that is getting deposited at the dam, and that is hampering our interest because that is reducing the life of dam. Able to understand? And that is where the silt that Mr. Modi was talking about, that became so much important in this Indus Water Treaty. Able to understand? Done. And here also, if I'm talking about, यहाँ पर देखना, अच्छा ये देखो, अच्छा अभी I'm talking about ना, तो यहाँ पर they are saying that is government must monitor the silt accumulation at vulnerable points. So understand what is silt and what is its implication in dams and all those kind of things. Done. Sir, silt will increase the soil will get fertile. Yes, it could be a case कि over the period of time, if a silt is getting deposited, अच्छा, at the river bank, if I'm talking about, if silt is getting deposited, the soil will get fertile. Able to understand? But in dam, we are not doing any agriculture. Okay? And as a result of that, वहां पर you have to remove silt. Done. A very good morning, Tisha. Very good morning to you. Done. Okay. Now see, if I'm talking about यहाँ पे, what they are saying that is government must monitor the silt accumulation at vulnerable points. So you have understood what is silt, what is its implication in Indus Water Treaty. That is, India was not even allowed to remove the silt content from the dam, and as a result of that, it was hampering the life of the dam over the due course of time. And Prime Minister Modi said, I have suspended the Indus Water Treaty just because I wanted to get rid of all these kind of vague provisions that are majorly being inserted in this entire kind of treaty in order to hurt the Indian realistic sentiments. Able to understand? Now see, यहाँ पर देखना, I was discussing about the flash floods का definition. I was asking about yesterday. I was asking about it yesterday, and I guess Dory answered. हाँ? Yes, exactly. I told you regarding 10 centimeter है ना, तो यहाँ पर देखो, if you'll be observing, they have given over here as well. ठीक है, 10 centimeter rainfall in an hour over 10 square kilometer of area. ठीक है, so what is the flash flood? If there is a 10 square kilometer of the area, इसमें within 1 hour, if more than 10 centimeter of the rainfall happen, then it will be called as what? It will be called as your flash flood. So what is a flash flood that has right now happening in Uttarakhand? What is a flash flood? That if within 1 hour, एक घंटे के अंदर, within 1 hour, in 10 square kilometer of the area, more than 10 centimeter of the rainfall happens. So more than 10 centimeter of the rainfall in 10 square kilometer of an area in 1 hour. Yes. 10 centimeter मतलब, for example, this is my ground level. तो यहाँ से it should be 10 centimeter. Able to understand? So if I'm talking about this, if I'm able to make you visualize, for example, this is your 10 square kilometer of area, which is type of, there will be an area in rectangle form. I'm assuming right now. Okay. So this is what? This is 10 square kilometer of area. Able to understand? And if I am saying the 10 centimeter rainfall will be happening over this entire kind of case, so I'm assuming above that 10 square kilometer of area, there will be 10 centimeter of the rainfall. Okay. So if I am trying to observe the rainfall amount that will be out there in this entire kind of area, it will be something like this. It will be in the shape of the cuboid. Able to understand? So if I am calculating the amount of the water, it will be somehow flash flood, sudden flood due to heavy rain. Exactly, Prashika, but I'm bilkul sahi, but I am telling you the technical definition. What is a flash flood? That is within 10 square kilometer of the area, 10 centimeter of the rainfall is happening within 1 hour. So what will be the volume of the cuboid? It is LBH. It is LBH, and L cross B is already given to you as 10 square kilometer. 10 square kilometer. Able to understand? Change. Huh? Height is 10 centimeter. Height is 10 centimeter. So now what I will be doing, I will be changing this centimeter to meter, and I will be changing this kilometer square to meter. Okay, so it will be something like 10 into 10 raised to the power 6. 1 किलोमीटर इज इक्वल टू 1000 मीटर, एंड 1000 मीटर को मैंने क्या किया, स्क्वायर किया, तो क्या हो गया 3 into 3, that is 10 raised to the power 6. And then I will be taking what, 10 centimeter, and here I am changing it to meter, so divided by 100. Able to understand? So it will be something like, acha, 1 2 and 1 2. Able to understand? So it will be 10 raised to the power 6 meter cube will be the volume. Able to understand? And 1 meter cube में how much liter is out there? 1 meter cube में 1000 liters are out there. ठीक है? So it will be 10 raised to the power 6 into 1000 liter, मतलब 10 raised to the power 9 liter of water in 10 square kilometer of the area in 1 hour. अब able to visualize what is flash flood. ठीक है, तो इतना पानी they are able to collect in one particular of the time period. Done. So this is what, this is your flash flood. Now coming to the second of the thing, अगले उस पे आना. देखो आगे, please have a look. Just wait a second. Done. आगे देखना. Come to sir, at 10 a.m. your newspaper analysis began. Yes, exactly, Prashika, exactly at 10 a.m. Okay, you can exactly join at 10 a.m. Sometimes 1 or 2 minutes here and there could be possible because of the technical issue. Otherwise, it is 10 a.m. only. Okay, so this article you have understood. Acha, come to this entire kind of case, judicial overreach. What is majorly happening? I had told you that is in India, right to freedom of speech. It is not absolute. ठीक है, right to freedom of speech is a fundamental right guaranteed under Article 19 subclause 1 subclause A. ठीक है, Article 19 subclause 1 subclause A, we are saying that is your freedom of speech will always be there. Now if I'm talking about this entire kind of article, what they are majorly saying that in India, right to freedom of speech is not absolute. It is subject to what? It is subject to your defamation. Acha, what is defamation? Manhani. That you cannot speak anything against any person that will hamper his dignity. This is what defamation. So right now, what has majorly happened? Supreme Court has said that is Rahul Gandhi's ka comment on China. That was a kind of defamation against what? Against India. What he said? He said that is around 2000 square kilometer of the area was captured by China without any proof. Able to understand? So this is what? This is defamation. You have done manhani of the country. Able to understand? Number first of the article. Number first of the point. Then they are saying that over the period of time in India, the right to freedom of speech is also subject to blasphemy. You cannot abuse God. You cannot abuse God. So blasphemy will also always be there. Number third of the thing, your speech should not incite any sort of violence. Okay? So I will be saying that is your speech should also be subjected to what? To law and order, and so on. Able to understand? So right now Rahul Gandhi is being charged under what? Defamation case, because he made such kind of comments. And right now what the Congress government is saying, what the Congress party is saying, Congress party is saying that is Supreme Court through entire kind of observation on Rahul Gandhi, they are doing judicial overreach. What is judicial overreach? That is, it is not under your prerogative. आपके अधिकार क्षेत्र के बाहर है, in order to make such kind of what? In order to make such kind of comments on any political leader, because since he is a leader of opposition, he has got all the right to criticize the people who are sitting in the parliament, who are running the government. Able to understand? Sir, what is second point after this is blasphemy. Blasphemy. What is blasphemy? Parashi, क्या नाम? Rashika, what is blasphemy? Blasphemy means when you are abusing someone's God. For example, sometimes you are burning the Quran. ठीक है, you are tearing Guru Granth Sahib, ठीक है, so when you are burning the Quran, you are tearing the Guru Granth Sahib, or you are speaking something against what, क्या ये राम भगवान, जैसे क्या मुनावर फारूकी ने किया, मुनावर फारूकी ने क्या बोला था, he made certain kind of joke on whom, on Lord Ram and Mata Sita, able to understand, है ना, so these kind of comments you cannot make, ठीक, अच्छा, when I'm talking about French, Prashika, this is your first class and that is why you might be facing certain kind of problem, done. If I'm talking about in India, you cannot abuse God. But when I'm talking about French society, in French society, you can always abuse God. French society में you can always अब भगवान को भी गाली दे सकते हैं. It is their freedom of speech, and that is why when there was a professor, that is Samuel Paty. There was one professor. It was a very infamous case. Samuel Paty was one of the professors of French university. What he said, अच्छा, if I'm talking about Islam में you cannot draw the caricature of Prophet Muhammad. मतलब you cannot draw the image of Prophet Muhammad. And if you are drawing the image of Prophet Muhammad, that will be considered as what? That will be considered as blasphemous. That will be considered as blasphemous. Able to understand? Okay. So Samuel Paty, what he said that I am having all the kind of right in order to do what? In order to criticize even the God as well. So I will be drawing the caricature of Prophet Muhammad. So as soon as he drew the caricature of Prophet Muhammad, there was one Pakistani boy who just removed his entire kind of what? Entire kind of वो क्या बोलेंगे? सर तन से जुदा की इंग्लिश क्या होती है? सर तन से जुदा beheading. ठीक है? He carried out the beheading of Samuel Paty and he was killed. And after this beheading of Samuel Paty, why? Because he drew entire kind of caricature of whom? Caricature of Prophet Muhammad. It is as per French law, it is okay. You can criticize the God as well. But as per the sentiments of the people, it did not go well, and as a result of that, he was beheaded. Able to understand? Take. And in this entire kind of case somewhere happened in 2019 के आसपास. Just please check the year. And after that, there were a lot of what? There were a lot of communal rights that were also observed. Communal rights that were observed. Able to understand? So this of the article you will be getting it. Now see what has majorly happened. Mumbai train blast. These people have been relieved as of now. Acha. This entire kind of article is saying it is the same set of evidence through which the session court has given them a sentence. 5 of them have been sentenced to that, and other 5 or 6 have been given life imprisonment. Okay? Session court on the basis of same evidence they have convicted these persons, but High Court on the basis of these of the decision they have relieved them. Acha. Why High Court has majorly relieved them and Session Court has convicted them? Acha, always remember, Session Court is always a junior court. This is not written in the article, but I am telling you out. Session Court is always junior court, and they never wanted to take risk because the judges in Session Court, they are also very junior. ठीक है, judges in session court, they are also very junior, so they never wanted to take any risk in their professional career, and as a result of that, majorly they will be giving the verdict in line with the public opinion. Most of the time they will be giving you the verdict in line with the public opinion, and that is why whenever I am talking about session court, in session court will never be giving you any kind of decision that will be out of the box. It will always be in line with what people wants. ठीक, अच्छा, this entire kind of thing has been told by my father, and that is why I am telling you. ठीक, but when I am talking about High Court and Supreme Court, High Court and Supreme Court are very high courts where very high judges actually sits over there, and they have got a very good, I should be saying, prosperous career, so they are not as such worried about their career, and as a result of that, they have the courage that they will be giving you what? They will be giving you any kind of verdict that is also against public opinion. Able to understand? And that is why session court never wants to take any kind of chance on any kind of thing, and they will always be giving you, bhaiya, you want this, I will give you this. But High Court and Supreme Court, they are very much particular about it, because the judges are also senior. They will never be giving you a verdict that what people want. This is based on a general understanding. And what this article is majorly saying, that over the period of time, the same kind of I'm saying the same kind of evidences has actually made these people convict in session court, but same kind of evidences has not been able to give them any kind of imprisonment or punishment in high court. That is what this entire kind of context is all about. Done. ठीक है, आगे देखना, come to the next of the thing. आगे देखो, decoding China. Acha, what they're majorly saying, there is right now the controversy that is going on. Acha, you must be knowing that right now Foxconn has shifted to India. I was telling you about the Foxconn in previous class. Huh? Yes, mobile manufacturing of iPhone. Okay. So right now, what is majorly happening? This Foxconn, Tamil Nadu. Foxconn has established what? Its facility in Tamil Nadu. But what is majorly the controversy is all about their 300 most important technicians and engineers. 300 most important technicians and engineers who were employed in Foxconn, and they were of Chinese origin. They were of Chinese origin. They have been called back by whom? They have been called back by China. And as a result of that, Foxconn has actually lost the technological know-how in order to produce what? In order to produce the mobile in this due course of time. So what has majorly happened? That is 300 Chinese people who used to work where? In Tamil Nadu for Foxconn facility in order to tell Indian technicians that how you have to produce these mobile. All these 300 people have gone back to China at one go. ठीक है, मैंने क्या बोला, जो 300 जो लोग थे जो चाइना में क्या थे, आपके एम्प्लॉयड थे, फॉक्सकॉन के लिए काम करते थे, वो सब क्या वापस चले गए कहां पे? चाइना में. ऐसा क्यों हुआ? वाई? इट इज मेजरली बीइंग सेड कि इस पे चाइना का रोल है, वो चाहता नहीं इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बढ़े, इसलिए अपने सारे चाइनीज नेशनल को उसने क्या कर लिया? बुला लिया. एंड दिस इज द एंटायर काइंड ऑफ कंट्रोवर्सी दैट इज able to understand. Done. So yes sir, iPhone 13 manufacturing is banned. Where iPhone 13 manufacturing is banned? In India. अभी तक तो आपका मैन्युफैक्चर हो रहा था, अभी ये लोग किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? दे आर मेजरली टॉकिंग अबाउट आईफोन 16, आईफोन 17 की बात कर रहे हैं. हाँ अच्छा देखो, इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इंडिया ना, तो इन इंडिया में देयर इज लॉट ऑफ मार्केट दैट इज आउट देयर, है ना? ठीक है, मार्केट है. एंड प्रोबेबली इफ आई ऑलवेज रिफ्रेन टू यूज चाइनीज प्रोडक्ट, आई डोंट नो व्हाई, मतलब अंदर से ना ये दिल है हिंदुस्तानी वाली फील आती है. आई माइट बी यूजिंग सैमसंग एंड सैमसंग इज अ साउथ कोरियन कंपनी, बट आई रादर नॉट चूज एनी मेड इन चाइना प्रोडक्ट. आई रियली वांट दैट. हाँ, लोग नोकिया भी इंडिया कर ली. नोकिया तो वैसे भी अब बंद हो, माइक्रोमैक्स. ठीक है. I tried to use Micromax as well, but that actually didn't work out. है ना? So that is what this entire kind of article is talking about, decoding China, the lessons from vulnerable India. Done. So what this entire kind of article is saying, that is Foxconn, which was producing what? Which has started to produce iPhones in India, specifically in the facility of Tamil Nadu. They were having 300 main engineers who were of Chinese origin. All these 300 engineers have been called back by whom? China. It is nothing official. China is not saying anything that we did it, but it is a kind of suspicion that why all 300 have gone back to China at one go. So that raises a point of suspicion, and that is what Shashi Tharoor is majorly trying to say over here. He is majorly saying that over the period of time, what has majorly happened, that is China is very skeptical about India's rise as a major manufacturing hub in Asia. Okay? China never wants that India should be having the manufacturing power which could actually lead to the competition in due course of time, because China always wanted to maintain its hegemony in this entire kind of region and in the world, and that is why China was called as what? That is workshop of the world. I guess yesterday your Dory was using this entire kind of term for the introduction purposes. Okay? So China is called as workshop of the world. Workshop of the world, because majority of the manufacturing that happens in world takes place where? In China. Okay? So China never wants that it should be losing this entire kind of tag, and that is why it is resisting in every possible way. That is, India should not be having this kind of facility to be flourishing in their own country. Okay? Number first of the thing that has majorly being said. Acha. Number second, they are what they are majorly what Shashi Tharoor is majorly trying to say in this entire kind of article. He is majorly saying that in due course of time, India is having a very good demography, India is having very good population, India is having young population, so India is having very good customer base. So if they will be producing in India, so probably over the period of time, the market, that even the domestic market can absorb all the kind of supplies which Foxconn is releasing in the market. So these are the things you have to keep in mind. Done. So come to the next of the article which I had to discuss with you. अगले आर्टिकल में आओ. Quranic justice not important. अच्छा बायोकार देखो, व्हाट इज अ पोटेंशियल बायोकार. अच्छा व्हाट इज पोटेंशियल बायोकार. बायोकार क्या है, ट्राई टू हैव अ लुक एट इट. Biocar is a type of the charcoal rich in carbon and produced from agricultural residue and organic solid waste. अच्छा देखो, if I'm talking about your agricultural residue, for example, you are talking about what agricultural produce, agriculture leftover that is out there, है ना? Along with that, you might be having certain kind of organic products, municipal waste, है ना? All those kind of waste that is having carbon. Any kind of living being over the period of time is having a good kind of carbon content. Either it is human being or it is plant. Plant residue is also having carbon and human residues are also having carbon. ठीक है, अच्छा. If this entire kind of carbon is going in the atmosphere, then it will be increasing its carbon dioxide. It will be increasing the carbon content where it will be. अच्छा, obviously when we will be burning human residue or we will be burning क्या आपका plant residue, so this carbon on burning will combine with oxygen and it will ultimately be producing what, carbon dioxide, and this is a greenhouse gas which we never want. है ना? And as a result of that, what we are using, we are making one charcoal kind of product in which we are collecting all the kind of carbon that is out there. We are collecting all the kind of carbon that is out there, and ultimately we are using it for what? For making these charcoal kind of products. So what is this charcoal? This charcoal has been formed by the plant residue as well as human residue, so that over the period of time this carbon content should not be going back into the atmosphere and it should not be increasing the greenhouse gas, that is carbon dioxide. So what is biocar? It is a type of a charcoal rich in carbon and is produced from agricultural residue and organic municipal solid waste. It offers a sustainable alternative to manage waste and capture carbon. ठीक है? So this entire kind of product which is made from human residue and plant residue, it is a kind of the product that could be used in order to capture carbon, जिसको I am calling it as carbon sequestration. I am calling it as carbon sequestration. Able to understand? Number first of the point. Now see, if I'm talking about carbon sequestration, acha, for example, I will be making this entire kind of product. There has to be certain use of this entire kind of product. Now, if it is not having any kind of usage, where I will be using this entire kind of thing, it will be only a kind of waste for me. So if I am able to produce this biocar and ultimately if I am able to use it somewhere, then probably my problem of carbon will be solved. Done. So what they are saying, that if we are producing biocar, it is having a lot of usages. It is having lot of usage. For example, what they are majorly saying, we can also use it in agriculture as a kind of fertilizer. Done. So there are ample kind of use. We can use it in road construction, we can use it in agriculture, we can use it in any kind of production of the things. Able to understand this biocar? Okay. So what is biocar? Biocar is majorly we are capturing the human residue carbon and plant residue carbon and making a charcoal kind of thing, so that we have captured all the kind of carbon content which could have gone in atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide and increased our greenhouse gases. Number first of the thing that you have to remember. Done. Now we are saying we are making it, along with that it's a usage of it as well. We can use it in agriculture, we can use it in production, we can use it in construction in ample number of ways. That is the entire context of the article, that what is biocar, why we are making it, and what is the usage of it. Done. Now come to this kind of article. यहाँ पर देखो, यहाँ पर what they are majorly saying, by using 30 to 50% of the surplus waste, India can produce 15 to 20 million tons of biocar and remove 0.1 gigaton of carbon dioxide equivalent. Excellent point. Okay. Data, this entire kind of data you will be quoting in paper 3. इसमें कोट करेंगे आप पेपर 3. पेपर 3 in environment, what they're majorly saying, that is by using the biocar we can do what, we can reduce 0.1 gigaton of carbon dioxide equivalent in the atmosphere. ठीक है, तो 0.1 gigatons of the carbon dioxide we can reduce. Number second of the thing, that by using 30 to 50% of the surplus waste, India can produce this much of biocar. तो if we are using 30 to 50% of the waste, for example we are generating 100 kg of waste, so इसमें से in 100 kg we can use 30 to 50 kg of the waste for producing what, for producing biocar, for producing biocar. Okay, and this biocar over the period of time, what will be happening, that we can reduce 0.1 gigaton of carbon. ठीक है, समझ आया? Able to understand? Now see, theoretically utilizing syngas could generate around this much of thing. Okay, what biocar? How can biocar be a carbon sink? I have told you over the period of time that what is this biocar? It is a biosink as well. It is a carbon sink as well. What is carbon sink? Carbon sink में भैया you are accumulating all the kind of carbon, it is not going anywhere. ठीक है, so it is a kind of carbon sink as well. That is what they are majorly trying to say. Done. Then come to this entire kind of site and you will be observing. Just wait a second. तो यहाँ पर ये क्या बोलते हैं, यहाँ पे ये बोलते हैं what hinders biogas production, क्या application. ठीक है, क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? अच्छा, despite theoretically the substantial potential to capture the carbon, biocar remains an underrepresented in carbon credit system. And what are the reasons that they are giving? Technical feasibility. Number first of the point that they are saying कि we do not have the required of the technology. ठीक है, ठीक. There is no viable business model. There is no such business model as such. There is क्या, market uncertainties and policy. So what all the points they have majorly said? There is no technology. Number second, there is no market. Market uncertainty is always there, and there is no viable business model. There is no viable business model. So till the time it will not be viable for the people to generate biocar, we will not be producing it. So what is the gist of this entire kind of article? Number first, what is biocar? Number second is what is the usage of biocar? How biocar over the period of time it can lead to what? It can lead to carbon sequestration and protecting the carbon. And then you should be remembering this entire kind of data, that is by 30 to 50% of the utilization of the waste generated, we can generate biocar that can reduce 0.1 gigaton of the carbon dioxide equivalent. Able to understand? So this entire kind of article, this entire kind of data you will be quoting where? You will be quoting in paper 3. ठीक, तो data book में इसको अपना लिख लेना. And over here what they are majorly saying, they are highlighting few of the challenges. What are the challenges? Number first is technical feasibility. Number second is what? Number second is market uncertainty. Number third is there is a lack of viable business model. ठीक, so these are the things you will be remembering. Now come to the next of the article. अगला article देखना. अच्छा, what is recall motion? यहाँ पे देखो, what is recall motion? अच्छा, in India recall motion is not there. What is majorly happening in Taiwan? What is recall? If your selected representatives are not working, ठीक, there can be a second election in which you are saying that these people which we have, to whom we have elected, they are not working. You can call them back. Okay, so what is recall? What is recall in a democracy? Acha, always remember India mein recall is not there. Once you have selected a representative, he is going to be there for 5 years. He is going to be there for 5 years. But in other of the democracies like Taiwan, recall provision is always there. And when I'm talking about recall, what is recall? That if your political representative whom you have selected, for example, MP, I'm considering the MP of Taiwan. If he is not performing, what can happen? That is, you can vote again in order to bring him down and conduct a re-election, that this person is not working as per the criteria that we have set, or he is not working as per the expectation, so we do not want him in the office, we want him to resign. For this there will be a certain kind of election through which you can do it. Acha, yahan pe they are majorly saying that is recall vote has happened in Taiwan, and then they are discussing all the kind of procedure that is out there, ki how they can remove a person in Taiwan, but that is not from your examination point of view. This Taiwan constitution you don't have to study, you just understand what is recall, What is recall? That if any kind of elected representative is not performing, you can bring him down, you can force him to resign from the office. India may recall is not there. Once you have selected a person, he will be going to stay there for 5 years. And that is why this entire kind of thing is not much relevant for you. Come to the next of the article. अगला आर्टिकल पे आना. अच्छा, this article is very important, very important. I might be asking one question on it. Jay, sir, carbon emission will be reduced exactly. बिल्कुल सही. Prashika, carbon emission will be reduced if we are be using that biocar technology. Done. Parliament passes a legislation to modernize India's maritime laws. This entire kind of thing is important. Why? अच्छा देखो यहाँ पर, though this entire kind of thing is in the process of getting passed. ठीक है? So number first of the thing that you have to remember, that is carriage of goods by sea bill. Carriage of goods by sea bill. Carriage of goods. Carriage of goods by sea means samudra. Bill means something that has not passed yet. It has been anything that is bill. For example, what is the process of becoming an act? Firstly, you have to pass it from Lok Sabha. You have to pass it from Rajya Sabha, or you can pass it from Rajya Sabha and then you can pass it from Lok Sabha. And after that, you have to pass it from where? You have to pass it from. You have to take the assent of Parliament, and after Parliament, gazette. Okay. Till the point it is not getting published in gazette, it will be called as bill. Okay. Acha, there is always, remember, there is always a kind of, acha, thanks for asking this question. Always remember, a bill is not becoming an act till the time it is not published in Gazette of India. Okay. What is Gazette of India? Bharat Rajpatra. Okay. Any kind of publication, any kind of rule or law, okay, that is getting made, it has to be published where? It has to be published where? In Gazette. Yeah, हाँ, नौकरी में होते हैं. That is why they are called as gazetted post or gazetted officer. So all those posts that are mentioned in Gazette of India or Gazette of State, all those posts that are mentioned in Gazette of India or Gazette of State, those are the posts are called as gazetted post, and that is why the people who are serving on those posts are called as gazetted officers. Able to understand? Okay. So what I am majorly saying, that is any kind of any kind of rule that is majorly being made, okay, it has to be passed from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and after that from, it has to get an assent of president, and after getting the president's assent, it has to be published in Gazette of India. Acha, why I am saying Gazette of India? Acha, देखो, any kind of rule that is majorly being made now, you have to inform the people of India that this is being majorly being made. For example, कल को Prinsu आया, Prinsu has murdered someone. Prinsu has murdered someone, and he will be saying, I never knew that there is a provision of punishment if I'm murdering someone. So what the government will say, I have published everything in the Gazette of India, you have not read it, so that is not my responsibility. Able to understand? So what is this Bharat Rajpatra or Gazette of India or Gazette of a state? If any kind of law is majorly being made, you have to publish in Gazette, so that people should be knowing that we have published and there is a law and you have to abide by it. Actually, nobody reads it, but still government does its work that I have published it. It is up to you whether you want to read it or not. So next day if you will be saying, I never knew that there is a kind of law on it, you cannot say no, because it is always there in Gazette of India. Achha, you are always talking about right to information. Achha, Right to Information Act, है ना? If you will be asking Rahul Gandhi, even in sleep, even in his sleep, है ना? So what he will be saying, that is biggest achievement of the Congress government is Right to Information Act. They brought Right to Information Act in order to transform the governance structure of India. Able to understand? And that is exactly okay. But before that, if I'm talking about similar kind of attempt has been made by Atal Bihari Vajpayee as well. Usko they have called it as Information Act. They have called as Information Act. Similar provision, everything was similar, but it is majorly like कि मुंह तक आया लेकिन टेस्ट नहीं लगा. क्यों? They have passed it from Lok Sabha, they have passed it from Rajya Sabha, they have taken the assent of the president as well, but they never published in the Gazette of India. Till the point you are not publishing that thing in the Gazette of India, it will never be called as an act, and that is why this Information Act that I am saying, it always remained as Information bill. And when the Congress government came into picture, they quickly brought right to information, and they claimed a kind of what? Claimed a kind of, I should be saying, uh, patent over this entire kind of thing, that this is mine. You know? Right to information has been brought by the Congress government, but similar kind of attempt has been made by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government as well. That was called as an Information Act, but they never published where? They never published in Gazette of India. And that is why it was never called as an act. It always remained a bill. So everything, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, after that, president, and after president, acha, most of the people know till president, but they never know about Gazette of India. So every order of the president has to be published in Gazette of India. Till that point, it will not be called as an act. Okay? So before Gazette of India, everything is bill. Okay? Now see. Now if I'm trying to see this entire kind of case, what is majorly happening? That is carriage of goods by sea bill. This is a bill that is majorly coming, and what is majorly happening in this entire kind of bill? यहाँ पर देखना, they have passed it. अच्छा, sea means समुद्र, ठीक है? So whatever I should be saying, whatever the changes that you have to make in order to make your seaports and sea logistical chain fine. ठीक है? You have to make your sea transportation routes smooth and fine. For that, you have majorly got carriage of goods by sea bill, that you are transforming the transportation by samudra or sea. So this is a bill. This is through which the government is majorly coming out. Okay? Now what are they majorly saying? That through this, acha, they are majorly trying to acha, if something is getting amended, there must be some prior act on it. Okay? So before this act, there was 1925 ka act. So till now it has been around 100 years. From 100 years, we are still being governed by 1925 ka act. Our sea route, sea transportation, everything is being guided by 1925 ka act. So there is right now the need that you have to change it. Okay? So from 1925, after 100 years, India is trying to amend this entire kind of thing, and Indian Carriage Act of Goods by Sea Act, this will be repealed and a new act will be adopted, that is Carriage of Goods by Sea Bill 2025. So nearly after 100 years. Number first of the point. Number second of the point kya hai? It is trying to transform the transportation at sea. Number second point. Number third of the point that you will be remembering is that अच्छा यहाँ पर देखो, अच्छा, I will be telling you this entire kind of thing. एक दो point you please write down extra. This bill aimed at consolidating the law related to port management. Number first, they are saying all the laws that are out there related to who? Related to sea. I will be consolidating it. I will be writing them at one place. So till now there have been multiple of the laws. What I will be doing? I will be repealing all those kind of laws and I will be making one law. Okay? So laws they are targeting. Number second of the thing, that is Maritime State Development Council. Maritime State Development Council, Maritime State Development Council, they will be forming for every state. Able to understand? Number third of the thing they are saying, that is Maritime State Boards. Maritime State Boards. अच्छा, इसमें इससे पहले एक पॉइंट लिखो, that is International Convention for Unification of Certain Rules of Law. क्या? International Convention for the unification of rules. International Convention on unification of rules. Acha, I told you right now, this entire kind of act is basically in line with this entire kind of convention. This kind of international convention. What is this international convention? That is International Convention on Unification of Rules. International Convention on Unification of Rules. So this entire kind of act, I told you that there are multiple laws right now. So what is majorly happening, that it will be repealing all those kind of laws and it will be making one law on transportation by sea. Sir, what is cargo movement? Cargo is majorly, or if I'm talking about cargo, is saman. Prashika, cargo is saman. Okay. So movement is shifting from one place to another. Okay. So what is cargo? Cargo is saman. Any kind of saman. Okay. It could be car, it could be mineral, it could be anything. Anything that you are transporting is cargo. Okay. Achha. So let me compile it once. What is this? That is Carriage of Goods by Sea Bill 2025. Carriage of Goods by Sea Bill. It is a bill that is coming nearly after 100 years. After repealing the 1925 Act, first point. Number second point, it is going to transform the transportation at sea. Number second point. Number third point, there will be a maritime state boards that will be made. Number fourth point, it is in line with the International Convention on Unification of Rules. Fifth point. Then it will also be targeting pollution control in seas. Okay, all the steps for the pollution control, it will be having a say in it. Done. So these are the things you will be remembering. Acha, agla question dekho. One or more article I have to discuss with you. After that, I'll be giving you a question on it. Work together to make India the third largest economy. I have told you about this. Acha, after Trump का comment ना, हाँ, हाँ, third largest economy बनने वाली है. ठीक है, to make India third largest economy. It has not, right now it is fourth largest or something. ठीक है. After Trump said that I will be imposing tariffs, ना, तो Prime Minister Modi is saying that over the period of time we will be working out, we will be going vocal for local, and we will be making, even after all this kind of geopolitical tension, we will be making India as a third largest economy. Able to understand? जी. अगला देखो. टैरिफ बढ़ा रहे हैं अपना पॉलिटिकल एजेंडा सेट करने के लिए, वैसे कुछ नहीं. लीडर्स हेल वर्क ऑफ विजनरी साइंटिस्ट. अच्छा, दिस डोरी वाज सेइंग, यस, तो आज एमएस स्वामीनाथन का बर्थडे है. ओके डोरी, देयर इज अ न्यूज़ ऑन इट. ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन, हाँ, क्या व्हाट इज, हाँ, एमएस स्वामीनाथन इज मेजरली कंसीडर्ड एज अ पायनियर. अच्छा, व्हाई एमएस स्वामीनाथन? एमएस स्वामीनाथन ने क्या दिया? एमएस स्वामीनाथन ने एग्रीकल्चर पे बहुत काम किया. ही वर्क फॉर एग्रीकल्चर एंड टिल नाउ हिज रिकमेंडेशन ऑन एग्रीकल्चर दे आर मेजरली बीइंग हेल्ड. Okay. Every time any kind of farm protest is all there is out there, they are always saying that we should be accepting MS Swaminathan का recommendation. ठीक है. So okay, आगे देखो. India is doing better than US, has robust growth rate. Okay, very good. Which article is this? ये वाला कौन सा? पाकिस्तान साइड सिक्योरिटी. अच्छा, ये वाला आर्टिकल देखना. प्रोबेबली डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प इज सेइंग आफ्टर मी जेडी वैंस he will be becoming the president of USA. So he's saying I will not be going for the third term. And if JD Vance becomes the president of USA, probably it could be a thing. Why? Because JD Vance की wife is Indian. हाँ, हाँ, मैंने क्या बोला? What I'm majorly saying, Donald Trump is saying that after me, because he will be completing his two tenures. Okay, in 2028, he's saying after me, JD Vance might become the president of USA, and probably if he is becoming the president of USA, it will be helpful for India. Why? There will always be a inclination towards India. Why? Because JD Vance की wife is Indian. Done. Okay, recently his wife also came to India, and Prime Minister Modi got an interaction with her and obviously her kids as well. Okay, so this has been mentioned by GD Vance as well. And right now, what? Putin's hold constructive talks with US and boy. Okay. Achha, one article I had to discuss with you is in sports. Remember, ये वाला देखो. Pakistan side security reasons withdraws from Asia Cup hockey. Okay, so right now Asia Cup is happening where? In Bihar. Bihar में where? In Rajgir. Okay, this thing you have to remember. Acha, if India becomes victorious, or if India wins this Asia Cup, they will be getting an entry to the Olympics. Okay, direct entry to the Olympic. That is a qualifying criteria. If India wins where? In Asia Cup, they will be getting an entry to where? They will be getting an entry to Olympics. And this entire kind of cup that is happening, इसमें Pakistan is saying that we will not be coming to India. नहीं, I don't know. नहीं हटा होगा. बॉक्सिंग तो बहुत अच्छा स्पोर्ट है. हटा है क्या? बॉक्सिंग हट गया? कोई देख आगे हट सकता है. I don't know. Better to see. Till now, there's no news on it. Done. So what they are majorly saying that is Asia Cup for hockey will be organized where? In Bihar. Done. In Rajgir. And Pakistan is not coming to India. They are citing security reasons. Sir, what is cargo movement? This I have cut to. Okay. अब देखो, we see one question I will be giving to you people. एक क्वेश्चन करो. Try this. करो. Anyone? Sir, will Pakistan not participate in Asia hockey sport? No, they are saying we will not be participating. Why? Because it is happening in India and we have security issues. As अच्छा इंडिया ने क्या बोला? India is saying that we can ensure the security, but Pakistanis are not coming. We cannot do anything about it. Sir B. Okay. Prashika is saying B. Anyone else? Prashika is saying B. Anyone else? Anyone else want to try? Prinsu? Tisha, only two. Acha, Tisha is also saying only two. Prinsu? Huh? Only two. Prinsu is saying only two. Anyone else? Anyone else? Satya, only one. Okay. Satya said only one. Anyone else? Anyone else? Dori, Yashika? Acha, Yashika is also saying only one. Yashika is also saying only one. Anyone else left? Vanshika, you wanna try? Vanshika? Tisha only two. Okay. Okay, let me tell you the answer. See, if I'm talking about this entire kind of thing, that is consider the following statement regarding with respect to the carriage of goods by sea bill 2024. It replaces Indian Carriage Act of 2017. No, 1925. I told you 100 साल हो गए. हाँ हाँ तो ठीक है ना. तो you have said two only. चलो देखते हैं. Done. So first statement is incorrect. I had told you that is last one was in 1925. I have repeatedly said it is after 100 years, after 100 years, after 100 years. So it is 2025. So it replaces the bill of 1925. Very first of the statement. The bill is the new legislation with no connection to any existing international convention. It is also incorrect. Why it is international convention? United Nation International Convention on Certain on Unification of Rules. I told you. United क्या Convention on Unification of Rules. Convention on Unification of Rules. Done. Number third of the thing, it proposes the formation of Maritime State Development Council to promote an integrated port development. Yes, this is correct. I had told you regarding Maritime Development Boards. Then the last of the point, will primarily focus on regulating only the major ports of India. No such case. Both major and minor. Okay. So this statement is incorrect. So answer is only one statement is correct. Here, how many? How many is number of statement. Okay. UPSC is asking questions on these formats. So how many statement? That is option A. Only one. Done. Okay. So good try, Prinsu, Tisha, Prashika, and right answer Satya and Yashika. Done. Maza hai classmate? Enjoyed? Okay, so that's it for today's class. And yes, Prashika is a new one. So if you want to join, you can come directly tomorrow, sharp at 10 a.m. Usually our class starts sharp at 10 a.m. Done. So that's it. Rest will be doing in the next of the class. And tab tak ke liye signing off, Samad Singh from my side, from UDAAN IAS. And let me thank everyone who has joined. Dori, Vanshika, Satya, Yashika, Dori, Dori, Vanshika, Yashika, Yashika, Vanshika, Prashika, Satya, Prashika, Prashika, Prashika 6-7 times. And then Tisha, Dori, Satya, Yashika. Bye. See you everyone. कल मिलते हैं. Bye bye. Tata. शबा खैर. Bye.